What's going on, Wise Guy Mob? And we at it again. It is part two of three-part series. I'm calling it the State of the Union Address, Wise Guy Mob style. Anyway, basically what we're doing is, don't pick your nose, motherfucker. You are on camera. I see you. I see you. No, guys. Anyway, what we're doing here, guys, is we're basically addressing the state of the country in three main areas. So yesterday, if you didn't catch it, it will be up on YouTube before I go to bed tonight. I am gonna edit it and upload it. And then this one will be up probably tomorrow. It's gonna be about a day or two behind, as far as getting uploaded on YouTube. That being said, yesterday was about cancel culture. We did delve into topic 2 and 3, but very little. We made sure to kind of keep it fully into cancel culture, and we did wrap it all in. And it was a really good discussion between me and Guzzo and his girlfriend Storm. Wifey caught in on the conversation. We definitely differed on almost every single aspect of the argument. We definitely disagreed. But using the Socratic method, I think we came to just about on every point common ground. And that's the whole point of this whole discussion is Guzzo and I have been friends, and this is something I want people to know because Guzzo and I have been friends for upwards of what, 4 years, Guzzo? 3 years?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Okay. So Guzzo and I disagree on quite a bit when it comes to like what we used to. I think we're more in a line now. More aligned now. But there was a time when me and Guzzo, we really disagreed on a lot politics wise.
Yeah.
And originally when we first started talking, we just came to the notion that, you know, we're just not going to talk politics together.
Yeah.
But as time went on, we realized that's not really possible because we're both very. Oh, Storm was in the cam. Hi, Storm.
Hey, guess what?
I see you.
Hi.
Anyway, so no, we differed on a lot, and we realized it wasn't really possible the amount that we talk for us to not just not discuss something so important to us that we were so involved with. So what we did was we started using the Socratic method. If we disagreed on something, we didn't just holler at each other and say "fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, you're an idiot, I'm out." No, we talked about it. We came to common ground. We figured out each other's perspectives, and we tried to find a neutral area in that. And it served me very well through the years. And it's something that I used last night with Storm, and it worked there too. And I hope that maybe if you take anything from this discussion, I hope that you take with it that method, because we need to have more discussions with like this. Just in general, as people, we need to have more discussions like this. I think there would be much more understanding of each other. I think there would be much more that we could accomplish socially, economically, politically, if we could have these type of discussions. But instead, the way it stands is we all yell at each other. If we have a difference of opinion, we cancel each other, and it's just, it's childish. It really is. It's fucking childish. But today is part 2, so we are going to be getting into the riots, BLM, Antifa. By the way, fuck you. Hate Antifa. I think you guys are a bunch of fucks. You guys, as a whole, Antifa well, they've been labeled as terrorists. Am I right, Guzzo?
Yeah, they have.
They're a domestic terrorism group.
Rightfully so.
Absolutely rightfully so. But if you have a difference of opinion, if you're part of Antifa, this is a safe space, as you millennials like to fucking say. You are more than welcome to share your opinion respectively.
Don't be a Karen.
Yeah, don't be a cunt. Don't be a Karen, aka a cunt. Because that'll just get you bounced out. It happened last night. Somebody tried to come in here and do some shit. He got banned real quick. Nobody even seen him.
Yep.
So, that being said, guys, let's have a productive conversation. Let's get this going. Guzzo, tell the people. Legit, I've been banned. What's going on, buddy? Guzzo, tell everybody who you are, what you're about, in case they didn't see the first part. Introduce yourself.
For those that didn't see the first part, I'm Gazettis. I'm a gamer slash conspiracy theorist slash researcher, I guess you could say. Um,
And guys, I get a
I
lot of info from him. Actually, we go back and forth, and we just share.
yeah
We share a lot of stuff together, and we kind of make an opinion off of that.
yeah
I think we're probably in
I
contact probably 3-4 times a week.
yeah, definitely, yeah, and yeah, and also, like I was gonna tell you guys, I do gaming, I do live discussions as well,
Like
uh,
this.
which yeah, exactly like this. I mostly Twitch and YouTube. I sometimes be active on like my Instagram and Twitter, but not as much because I mostly, again, mostly do my YouTube and Twitch most of the time. But yeah, I mean, really, that's it, and also I'm a very busy person. I also do a lot
He tries to
behind
make
the
as much time for you guys as he can, but you know,
yeah,
life.
it's hard. Yeah, life exactly. It
Um,
is. It's really hard.
and I actually, to his merit, I want to say, you know, if you guys like these discussions that I do on this channel, as far as like the interrogation rooms and stuff, you can actually thank Guzzo for that because it was a couple of years ago, before I was even doing this shit, that Guzzo actually hit me up because he used to watch my shows all the time when I really only did gaming.
Yeah,
And he even told me, he's like, you know, people like to hear your perspective. They like to hear your opinion. You really should do a form of a talk show. And back then I was like, nah, fuck all that. You know, nobody wants to just sit there and watch me talk. And as I got a little bit more mature and I started to like really formulate my opinions in a constructive manner and not just be a fucking troll all the time, because I could be a troll too, guys. I'm not gonna deny it. But when I got a little older, a little wiser, and a little bit more mature, it dawned on me that yeah, that could be a very, very good thing to do, and it has been very um, eye-opening because you get a lot of different opinions when you bring different people on the show the way I do, and it's
for
really
sure.
cool to hear their perspectives over just mine. So, cheers to you, Guzzo. Thank you.
No problem.
And guys, this will also be posted on YouTube. Um, Whenever I need a refill of the beverage or Guzzo needs to take a leak or something, you may see a pause screen on here that will not appear on the YouTube. Therefore, there will be some jump cuts, but it's going to be only to cut out the pause screens and to keep the momentum going. Nobody will be taken out of context on this. Nothing will be edited out conversation wise. Anything of merit will be there. It's just going to be the, occasional pause screen that I'm going to edit out when it comes to the YouTube product. But that being said, let's get right into it, guys. So, topic of the day, like I said, is going to be BLM, riots, Antifa, the cops, back to blue, baby, and we'll talk about Donald Trump sending the feds in. Matter of fact, did you see what Donald Trump did yesterday?
What do you do?
Walked through Portland, the major park in Portland where they've been fucking rioting after the feds got it under control. This motherfucker took a victory lap. I saw it. I was like, "That's my president right there. Fuck all y'all." And he walked through like chest pumped up and like, "Yeah, bitches, what's up? What's up?" Dude,
That's
watch the
funny
video.
too.
Check that shit out. It's fucking hilarious. I saw it on
I will.
TikTok. And then I looked it up on YouTube and I saw the full video and he legit just took a victory lap around the whole park. Secret Service around him and shit. Didn't give a fuck.
That's crazy. That's funny as hell.
It is. I love it. But, so, what is your take on it? Do you think the riots are helping the message or do you think it's hurting it? Do you think it's taking us strides forward or back?
More so back.
And I wanna stipulate too. I'm talking about the riots. I'm not talking about the protests. Although there's been very few actual peaceful protests, many more riots. But when it comes to the riots, we're gonna let's cordon that off and just talk about the riots. Fuck the protests for a minute. The riots.
Yeah,
Do you think it's even
yeah.
about George Floyd at this point, or BLM, or any of that?
No, no, not at this point. I mean, that everybody knows the result that's going to happen from the whole situation as a whole. It's not going to shock anybody. So it's like, why are you going to continue to riot and destroy shit when you already know what the outcome's going to be? I mean, in all honesty, all you're doing is more damage than you are doing any good. You're not
I
going to
think it's
change.
creating more racists.
Yeah,
I think they're
yeah,
becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you want people to stop calling you this and that, but you're literally becoming what you're asking not to be called.
Exactly. And that's my thing, is how do you do that? How do you take that leap and become the thing you hate?
It's hypocritical.
It is. And what scares me the most is I heard this I saw this poll. And the poll was two choices. Do you think we're heading for a civil war? Or are we already in one? And that scared me. Because then after that, I saw a video, another one on TikTok. And it was literally a militia in Kentucky forming.
Doesn't surprise me.
Really, Grim Reaper? I would love to hear it. I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the chat. But I saw a militia forming in Kentucky, and they were essentially discussing their code of conduct, if you will. Reptilians? I think you mean reptilians. I think that's what you're going for. Fair enough. That's your opinion. No, guys, it is an open forum. If you guys would like to ask questions, we will answer them. But anyway, as I was saying, so where was I? Sorry, ADD. Oh, militia.
Talk about the militia. Yeah. Yep.
So we're talking about BLM, the riots, Antifa. Cannot use those words. Reaper, try to find substitutes, buddy. I'm going to deny that message. Anyway. So the hold on, I want to make sure I didn't ban him. We were talking about the riots, BLM, Antifa, and as well as Trump, the response with the feds, everything to do with the riots, essentially. So I saw a militia being formed in Kentucky, and they were talking about their basically the code of conduct and their rules of engagement. And essentially they were saying, you know, while we're out there, the cops are the boss. They call the shots. We follow their orders. We do what they want. Now, if the cops get overrun, if they get pushed out of town, we are going to take over. We are going to get between them and the rioters to give them time to recuperate, get their shit together, and come back. And while I respect the shit out of that, that is awesome that our citizens are standing up and backing the blue. I got your six means a little bit different thing for me as well than it does for the regular guy that just grabs his AR on TikTok, loads it up, and heads off cam. That's fucked, Reaper. That's fucked. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about both sides, really.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that they backed them up like that, and that's kind of how I look at it. When I say I got your six, and I do say that to officers and for officers, when I say I got your six, I don't mean I'm gonna pick up a gun and get some clout on TikTok. I'm not saying that's what these people are doing, but it means a little bit different. If I'm out on my regular errands, or I'm on my way to work and I see an officer in distress, I will be his backup or her backup. If I see them on the ground and in a bad spot, I will be their life rendering aid.
Right.
You know what I mean? I when I say I got your six, I got your six. And that's what it needs to mean. And these people took it to that level. So for that, I respect them. They weren't being racist about it. They weren't white nationalists. They were just regular people
Right.
like you and me, Guzzo. And they were
Right.
invoking their right to bear arms. And they are out there as a militia, backing up the police. Good on them, honestly.
Yeah,
But
I totally.
where that ties into that poll is, does that lead to the fact that we are already in a civil war?
Well, here's two things about that. Well, one thing about that, and another thing. The thing about that is that the Civil War, I don't believe, actually even really stopped.
I disagree with you. I think the war stopped, and I think we've made enormous strides.
As far as shooting and killing, it stopped. But as far
You
as
mean the
the verbal,
mentality, especially, and this isn't to be racist, but you mean the mentality, especially of black people, where they feel that they are still owed something?
yeah, and it,
And which creates a strife between all with the races.
yeah, because when people believe they're owed, or even people get in positions of power, whoever isn't, or whoever isn't in a position of power, or whoever is owed, believes that, well, the ones in power believe that they're superior, and the ones that are owed believe they should be more superior than the ones that are already in power, and it's not okay, because in all honesty,
No, because it's a vicious cycle, and it just creates more racism.
exactly. And the thing is that, to be honest, there shouldn't be any one person in power, because the simple fact being is that anybody in power is going to use that power for their own agenda.
Well, I mean, it's the age-old saying, right? Power inevitably corrupts.
Yeah,
And
it does.
I'm
Just like
not
money.
opposed to that notion. But that's why we have the checks and balances we have in America. It's one of the things that makes this country great, is that, and I feel, and I apologize 637 if you disagree, but because I see that I think you're from France. Um, I believe that America is the greatest country in the world, and I think it's easily explained. I think even beyond the fact of, you can leave out the checks and balances we have that protect us from such corruption, or is supposed to at least.
Supposed to, yeah.
That's why they're in place. The checks and balances. Why we only have 4-year terms for our president. It's why. But see, you know where we lose those checks and balances is when we have unlimited terms for congressmen and senators.
And people are not exercising their rights as much as they should, because you
To
don't
vote
use
them
it.
out. Yes.
You don't use it, you lose it.
And here's the thing. Here's the and we talked about this last night, but I'm going to mention it again tonight. By the way, guys, this is a 3-part series. The first part will be going up on YouTube tonight. If you missed it, you can catch it there. I will put the links in the chat at some point tonight when we do a call to action. That being said, there is one easily arguable reason why America is the greatest country in the world. And it's very simple. Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Period. Freedom of speech.
Which we have for
I
now.
can go out and express my opinion vocally however I see fit, and I cannot be persecuted by the government for it. The problem is we have a mob that wants to use cancel culture, and we're not going to get into this. We did this for 3 hours last night, but we have a cancel culture that prevents that freedom of speech, and it infringes on that right. I don't agree with that. If you guys want to hear more about that, revert back to the first part. But that being said, guys, I think these riots we're reverting back decades, man. Half a century even. We are reverting back. This is worse than the shit that happened with Rodney King.
Rinse and repeat much?
And the fact that you gave a folded flag to George Floyd's family it is a slap in the face to every soldier, every sacrificed his life, every patriot in this country. That is a smack in the face.
This dude wasn't even.
You got something to say, so you go right ahead. I'm gonna let you have the floor for a minute on that.
Because
you wanted to go in on that yesterday, and I stopped us because that was going into this topic too much.
This dude ain't even the thing. He ain't even. I don't even think he had anybody in his family that was military, and we had to give somebody a folded flag. I've got a family. for generations that have been
Hold
in the
on.
military.
We have a question. Can you hold that thought, Guzzo?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So 637 is saying, should it not be the popular vote that decides the election, essentially? That's been argued for years. It's been argued for years, and I honestly, I'm an American, and I'm in this shit. Like, I am neck deep in this shit, and I really don't understand the reason for using electoral votes over the popular vote. To be honest.
And you know what? I can agree with that to an extent that they should. The only problem is that also still breeds a certain form of hate, and it's also going to breed a certain form of division.
Right, but at least if you had it by the popular vote, I don't want to get too far off topic, but at least if you had it by the popular vote, it would at least be the true voice of the people. Nobody can say the vote wasn't counted.
Yeah. On that standpoint, yeah, I can agree with that on that standpoint.
And I think that could override the fear of division that you have.
It could. Well, yeah, because I mean, in all honesty, that's another thing too. Is that if the people on that aspect are listened to more, if they don't like it, okay, you have other countries to go to.
Right.
The people were listened to. You have nothing to complain about. Your opinion was taken into consideration. If you don't like how that works, there's other countries to move to.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. And if you think they're going to be any better, sadly to tell you, probably not, because if you go against the word in other countries, perfect example.
Your
China,
vote don't mean shit in most countries.
Exactly. The thing is, in China, matter of fact, China, the old samurai code ways.
Dude, in China, they're putting people in concentration camps.
And it's not just that. You can be the most loyalist samurai in the samurai code, but if you do one thing that doesn't agree with the emperor, you were to off yourself. Because you brought
that
dishonor.
one uncle. I'm not sure if you're 100% correct on that. Didn't Trump win the popular vote? Or no, he didn't. You're right. He didn't. He definitely didn't. Technically, no. Trump did win the popular vote. On the polls that were presented before the election was over, the prediction polls, he was like losing astronomically to Hillary Clinton, and then all of a sudden he fucking won in a landslide. He didn't? See, I need to start having these statistics in front of me.
There was a big conspiracy on that. I know why they're talking about that. I know why they're. Yep. I remember about that. Yeah, there was a big conspiracy on that. Which I unfortunately can't go really too deep into because that's going to be a part 3 thing, but I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, part 3 is going to be more about the deep state conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But
there was a big theory that went on with that. I know what they're talking about.
And I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I apologize, guys. That's crazy. It's hard to remember all the statistics off the top of my head, so I need to start coming more prepared. And I appreciate that. This is a new thing for us, these political discussions.
Yeah.
It's something for the longest time we will.
Yeah.
No. I want you guys to call me on my bullshit if I'm wrong. That is the main point of doing this live, is to get your guys' perspective so that we're not just talking in a vacuum. We want to be in the open with you guys. So, no, really, 637, thank you. And you as well, that one uncle. Appreciate you.
Yeah, by all means.
This is an open forum, just like it says in the Go Live notification. You guys are more than welcome to ask questions, disagree with us, state your point. Just do it respectfully, and we will address it. But Guzzo, you were going in on something before we answered that question. We lost our train of thought.
About handing him the flag and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I have family. For generations,
which I thought was totally fucking wrong.
For generations, I got family that, for generations of people out of my family. My brother is in the military, and he started in there when he was 18 or 19, I believe. And my grandpa was in the military, and the thing is, my grandpa didn't go out on the front lines and be shooting the guns and stuff, but he was in the military. And his dad was in the military. His dad's brother was in the military. And so on and so forth.
a
And you're
military
gonna
family.
tell me, yeah, and you're gonna sit here and hand a folded American flag to somebody that ain't done a year or a month
Not
in
even,
no
dude.
military?
Not even, dude. All right.
Come on.
Look, I'm gonna say something that maybe some people don't like. I'm gonna tell the truth, right? Do I think he should have died? Do I think he deserved to die? Absolutely not. The man was a crackhead. The man was a drug addict.
Yeah,
He
I've
spent
seen
the majority of his adult life in prison for violent crime. He was not a fucking hero. He broke into a woman's house, a pregnant
not a
woman's house,
prophet.
held a fucking gun to her belly, and asked her, "Do you want your baby to die?"
He's not a prophet. He's not a martyr.
He's not a hero. He doesn't deserve a folded flag. Fuck that shit. And I can't believe they did that. That was so disrespectful. For them to do that, it besmirches every American hero, every American soldier that is
I know
represented
Medal of
that
Honors.
flag.
I know Medal of Honors that don't even get folded flags, which is fucking retarded.
Don't say that word. Please don't say that word.
My bad.
It's okay. We're getting heated here. We gotta take it down a notch.
It's stupid because, like I said, there's Purple Heart earners and Medal of Honor earners. Medal of Honors that are alive, they don't even get a folded flag.
Yeah.
And you gonna give this dude a what?
Oh yeah. And if black people don't, as a whole, don't see that as a patronage. No, that's not the word. What is the word? If they don't see it as them being patronized, then
yeah.
I don't know what is. I mean, but there was a question in chat. So 637 said, "What do you think is the solution for these riots?" Guys, I'm gonna let you talk on that for a minute, and I'm gonna take the follow up. I need another refill, so I will be right back, guys. Sit tight, Guzzo. Hold it down for me.
All right. So the thing to fix these riots, I really believe, would be that we send them in. And when I say send them in, bring the National Guard, round them up, make the kids go home, because half the people that are out there reacting in these riots aren't even reacting for what needs to be rioted about. They're just out there to riot because they ain't got nothing else better to do, for one, and for two, to loot, destroy, cause destruction because they think it's right because of what happened in the past. And I'm sorry, past is the past.
I couldn't agree with you more. I heard everything you said. I still had the earpiece and I just couldn't talk because I was too far from the mic. But
yeah,
absolutely, send them in. And by send them in, he means the National Guard. They're already doing that with the feds. ATF, all the federal bureaus are all going in. That's who you see in the military fatigues. And that's what needs to happen. Fuck this shit with the holding hands. No, they're burning businesses to the ground. They're killing people. They're beating people half to death. They need to be treated as a terrorist group now. Antifa, any BLM that's in those riots, they all need to be gone. They all need to go to jail. They all need to be detained. Something. It can't continue. And you know what? They're going to be lucky to get the feds, to get National Guard. Because you know what? You know who else is right on the fucking edge of coming in? And I've seen multiple reports of this, is Hell's Angels and the Mongols. Straight up, one of the leaders of the Hell's Angels came out and said, "Time to go home, kids. We're coming." And their objective is to take back the city. This was when they were in Seattle, but now they're talking about going to either Portland or Chicago. And their objective is to take back the city and give it back to the police. Yeah, and that's the problem because our country. Okay, and I can explain that. So, what 637 said, guys, was, and I'm gonna read your questions so that on the YouTube version of this, because the chat won't be there, I'm gonna read the questions so that everybody has the context of what we're talking about. So, 637 said that they think it's crazy that basically our country, America, influences and affects so much of the world. That 900 statues were removed in France, mostly slave owners.
We're one of the big superpowers. I mean,
that's because we're a superpower. We are, and whether you want to admit that or you besmirch that or you're slighted by that, the fact is we are a superpower. So any superpower is going to have an effect on the world as a
Yeah.
whole. China has an effect on the world as a whole. Russia has an effect on the world as a whole, and so does America. America probably has the biggest effect, I would say, because our media, as manipulative as it is, stretches worldwide.
Media, United Nations.
Yes, UN and all that shit. But
Yeah.
that being said, guys, I think it's wrong to rip down these statues, whether they're slave owners or not. I think it's
What about-
ridiculous. I think you forget your past, you're doomed to repeat the mistakes. Or it, if you forget your past, you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes in the future. I believe is the way it goes. And I strongly believe in that because at the end of the day, where does it stop? Because you know what? You can say what you want about Trump. But he predicted long before it happened. What's next? You're going to tear down George Washington? Abraham Lincoln? What are they doing right now, Guzzo? Tell me.
Well, they're doing the exact same thing with all of it with them. I mean, with the
These are your founding fathers that fought for you. Fought for your rights.
And the way
We're willing to die for you.
And the way I see the United States is that I'll tell people two things: Alexandria's library and the Holy Roman Empire. What's going on with the United States? We're erasing history, Alexandria's library, and the Holy Roman Empire. We're working on collapsing on our own selves.
Yeah. If you go back in history, the majority of great empires and nations were beaten by themselves. They lost to themselves. And it looks almost like we're repeating the same mistakes of Rome. Which is almost ironic because I'm Italian and I love Rome. I love Italian heritage. But it's almost like I'm reading a history book when I'm reading the newspaper.
Shit, reading, you live in it.
Yeah. I mean,
shit.
so real quick, just to catch up with chat. Grim Reaper says it's all the younger gen that makes all matters worse in these riots. I don't fully agree with that because it's the younger generation at the forefront that's making it worse. But behind it, the people that are orchestrating it, and this is what we're going to get into tomorrow, really, the deep state shit, it's all old white men within the Democratic Party. They want this shit.
Yeah, and the same thing is I'm going to agree with that to an extent because the thing is, the young people are not going to follow what their grandfathers in their older generations did. They want good shit, but they're not going about it the right way.
Here's the thing. And I agree with that. And we talked about this last night. I'm going to talk about it today.
Yeah.
I was told to kneel. Matter of fact, hold on. No, it is. 1 second, guys. I was told to kneel and take this mask off. Now, as you can see, it is a Blue Lives Matter mask, correct, Guzzo? Mm-hmm. It's got the faded line down the middle. You can either do a faded line or a blue line for the thin blue line, but this is a Blue Lives Matter mask. I wear this almost daily. This is where I live. We are by law required to wear a mask when we go out in the public. I have my reservations on that. Maybe we could do a bonus part for that, for the coronavirus.
We can add that in the deep state.
For the corona? I think the coronavirus deserves its own part. Maybe we'll do a part 4, guys. I don't know. But, that being said, guys. I was at a 7-Eleven. I don't know if they have those in France. And 637, I'm going to get to your question in a minute, or your statement, whatever it is. I haven't fully read it yet. I was wearing this mask. I go to 7-Eleven. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I just gotten off work. I work a night shift. I was told. No, better yet. I was cornered by a black man. About up to here on me. Now, mind you, I'm 6'4", 210 pounds. I was cornered. Told, that mask is racist. Take it off. I said, how's it racist? Said, stands against what I stand for. Said, matter of fact, kneel for your white guilt. I told him he could suck my whole dick. I said, you can suck my whole dick, sir. And he said, what? I said, bro. I said, I'm not taking the mask off. I said, matter of fact, I stand for what that mask represents. And I refuse to kneel because I kneel to nobody but God.
I'm glad you brought up the word God. I actually have a thing that I heard earlier.
So,
you can finish, but
So, he again told me to kneel and take off my mask. I said, take it off for me. Good luck. Take it off for me. He didn't want that problem. He expected me to back down and do what he told me. I wasn't going to do it. I think that in itself is racist. All right, the definition of racism is putting one race in a higher position than another.
Yep.
Essentially saying that one race is better than another or more important than another. And that is the essence of what they're asking for when they tell you to kneel.
Yeah,
I'm not going to kneel to you. You can suck my dick. And I'm still not going to kneel to you.
Yeah.
You can suck the skin off my dick. I ain't going to kneel.
Yeah, and,
So, essentially, it ended up... Yeah, he said that guy was dumb. He is. He's very ignorant. Very ignorant for doing that. But it has happened countrywide. White people have been told to kneel on the spot. And people are doing it. Some people are doing it out of fear. Fuck that. You're going to have to kill me before I kneel.
The thing is that with these riots and everything going on, and everybody wants to use weapons.
Okay, hold on. This actually goes along somewhat with what we're saying. Yeah, I tried to reason with the police, then got gassed while the protesters were destroying neighborhoods. You have to understand you were in a volatile situation already.
Unfortunately, which...
You were already in a volatile situation. These cops are already in a fight or flight mode.
Case of the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time.
I mean, if
sucks.
I'm in a fight, right? Let's say I'm in a fight. Guzzo's one of my best friends. Okay, I love that boy to death. If I'm in a fight and I'm banging on somebody, right? And he grabs my shoulder or he taps me on the shoulder even. My first reaction is going to be turn around and punch. I'm probably going to punch Guzzo in the face. And he probably, knowing him, probably expects that if he was to do something stupid like that, to approach me like that. No, I don't believe they're trigger happy, Grim Reaper. I think you're wrong about that. I think they are doing the best they can with a really fucked up situation. They're having bricks thrown at them. They're having buildings burned to the ground. They were the feds were in the courthouse and they're still trying to burn the courthouse down, shooting fireworks and Molotovs at it. I mean, if you approach that situation and try to reason, that's probably the wrong time to reason with them. I'm not saying you're a horrible person, 637, at all for trying to reason with them. I actually respect you for trying. I just think it was the wrong time. I think if you try to talk to a police officer in a less volatile situation, they would be much more willing to listen to you and hear you out. But I think once people cross that line, I think whatever happens to you is of your own doing. If you attack a police officer, if you try to kill a police officer and you get killed in the process, you brought that on yourself. But go ahead, Guzzo. You had something to say. Go ahead.
Oh crap! I'm probably gonna forget. I got it. I remember. So, everybody with the whole riots and getting violent and everything like that, and the thing is that, I'm going to say that we'll give people a gun, but we're going to give them a different type of gun to fight back with. And what I mean by that is this, because I heard it from the grandfather of rap, because my wife was watching a video. He
We'll
said,
get to that in a
God,
minute, Uncle.
he said, God, universe, nature, gun. That should be your weapon. God, universe, nature.
And then gun.
That is that right there, because the symbols, GUN, that should be your gun.
Yeah.
Because there should be no other type of weapons in this. Things should be peaceful. Things
should be and what is two very different things, though.
Of course, but
right,
that's the
that
type
being said,
of,
would I like to wake up tomorrow and all the riots be over?
Everybody would.
All the riots be over, and for everybody to come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, by liberty and justice for all.
Which that's gone now. I'm surprised that's even our national anthem anymore, considering what's going on.
Well, it's not anymore. Because now they have a black national anthem. And goddamn it, if I'm at any sporting event that fucking plays that shit, I will fucking take a knee. Fuck that shit. There is one national anthem that was created centuries ago for this country. The whole thing is based on unity. Why do you need your own national anthem?
Evidently, okay, so that right there just goes to show me, okay, we didn't learn. We didn't learn again. So
there is literally a black national anthem that's being played in the NFL games.
We didn't learn again. Again, we're putting another race on a pedestal. We're rewriting everything to support one race again.
Why is that any different?
Why are we?
So, real quick, just to catch up here. Uncle said, I like cops, but I have to admit, racism and corruption is a big problem there. Yes and no. Yes and no. I believe you are referring to within the police force. So that's what I'm going to center this argument on. So you are saying that racism and corruption are a big problem in the police force. I disagree. While I think that it is a problem, and I think that the problem gets exacerbated more than the solution, I think that it is much smaller of a problem than you think. I think the few are ruining it for the many, if you'll walk with me on this. I think there is much less bad cops than there are good. And I think that the bad cops could be limited even more if we had more training instead of defunding the fucking police. And we're going to get into that tonight, too.
There's a lot of the problems, a lot of the bad ones, a lot of them are in charge now. That's another problem.
Right.
That sucks is that while the good ones want to do something, they can't because they'd be at risk of losing their job because the boss goes, you need to kill this type of person or I'm going to fire you.
I've never seen any statistic or anything proving that. So I cannot go on that. You understand how I am. You know me well enough, Guzzo. I go by the imperial statistics, and I go by with a proof in front of me, and you have to walk with me on that one.
Yeah, I know.
I know that is the notion that's out there. I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's 100% true, put it that way. I don't believe that's the majority.
Right.
I'm sure there are some captains and some police chiefs that are fucked up in that way and shouldn't be in their position. I don't believe that's the majority, though.
Oh, no, not the majority, no.
Okay, well, that's the thing. You have to quantify it as that.
No.
Though, don't you?
No. No, that majority, I wouldn't say the majority are like that. God, no, because, I mean, I know of places myself that ain't like that. But I also know of places that, I mean, nobody can sit here and say, well, the whole United States law system is right. No. It's gonna be in places. I mean, obviously, there's not gonna be.
Sorry, guys, I have some technical difficulty with my background. Keep talking, Guzzo. I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. Of course, it's not gonna be everywhere. I'm not gonna sit here and say, No, there's not a single city, state, because of course, none of us have been in every small town, every city, every state. So of course, a lot of us aren't gonna know what happened in those areas. But if people want to say that, okay, this city and this city, um, this police chief pretty much tells his cops that if you need to erase these type of people, I'm going to fire you. Let's say, for instance, they're saying that's happening, not saying it is, but let's say they want to say it's happening. Okay, well, record it, find a way to get it out there that it's happening, and stuff like that, instead of just saying it. And again, people need to quit saying it happens everywhere. People need to quit saying that it doesn't happen, because and nobody can say whichever way. Anybody can sit here and say, well, United States don't have none of the police systems is racist, and people can also say that all the police systems are racist. How does some of us know? Because some of us ain't even in all the cities. And the thing is if that's the case and the places are under or experiencing that, get it out there. Quit being chicken and get it out there. Record. Well, if I record, they're gonna lock me up. So you're getting it out there.
Stand for your movement.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I am having some technical difficulty. Give me a second. We're back, guys. I apologize for the lengthy intermission. Had an issue with my hard drive, but we got it sorted now, so we're good to go. Alright, so let's catch up on the chat here, Guzzo. So, alright.
Yeah, I was talking to them in the... Actually, while you
are you telling me all police treat black men the same as white? All police, I don't speak in absolute. So, meaning I won't speak in terms of all or everyone or all of, no. Will I say most police? I think they do. I think the few, as I said before, ruin it for the many. I think there are some bad cops, and I think those bad cops give a very bad name to all of the cops.
Would you bend it to say that you would believe that it goes that way for, let's say, in instance, cities that you or I have never been in? Would you agree the fact that they still get equally treated there, since we technically wouldn't know?
What do you mean?
Okay, so, for instance, let's say we're somewhere we probably both haven't been. Let's say Los Angeles, California, because I'm just, of course, going to throw it out there.
Yeah, I've never been to LA.
Let's say, everybody or people say, well, most of the United States, blacks and whites get treated fairly. And, I sit here and say, yeah, I know. It's like either all of the United States, or like you said, if you don't deal in absolutes, most of the USA. I can say that, but I can't speak for towns that I've never been in, because I wouldn't know.
Well, but yes. But you're also adhering to the anecdotal. And when we talk in discussions like this, we have to really lean on the imperial data.
And
I'm not discrediting the anecdotal. Listen, I have encountered corrupt cops. I grew up in one of the worst cities in the country.
And I mean, it was like I was kind of talking about it in chat, just keeping chat active, In Chicago, I mean, when I first moved out here, at first when I moved out to Chicago, I thought some of the stuff I heard about the law system of police out here, I thought it was bull. I moved out here, blew me away. I literally if I was able to get close enough, like I said, and the risk or the reward was worth the risk to get the recording, I would have the recording to show right now. I've seen deals with gangs be done by police.
And I've seen that too, but that is I don't think that's the majority, Guzzo. I don't think you do either. I don't think the majority are the dirty cops. I think the dirty cops are the minority.
And that's the thing. For any other town, no. But from what I've seen with being same as around all of Chicago, And even in white areas, literally, I live on the borderline of Chicago and Oak Park. I go to Oak Park, next to no cops there and next to nobody pulled over, and it's a white dominant area. I come over here to Chicago where there's white
Predominantly
people
black.
and black people here. I see more of colored people in trouble.
Right, but don't you think that has more to do with the fact that it's a higher populace than it is in the suburban areas you go to? Don't you think? Wait. Don't you think that every inner city, like Chicago, New York, Trenton, don't you think those denser areas where it's an inner city are going to have more police activity? Don't you think that's? Could you walk with me on that a little bit?
I would a little bit. More police activity, yeah, but the fact that the race in Chicago is almost to the point now where it's literally even standpoints on white and blacks populating it, literally 50% on both sides of what races live here. And
do you know that?
More, yeah, you can look it up in the populations on whites and blacks is almost the same for Chicago.
Okay, so the race of Chicago goes 45.3% white, 32% black, 5% Asian, 3% from 2 or more races.
I can.
Essentially Hispanic, or actually no, 28% Hispanic, and 72% belong to a non-Hispanic black background. That being said, so yeah, you're close enough. It is close to 50-50, but actually it favors white people more than black.
Which you would think, with there being more white people, you would think, okay, maybe then you would see a little bit more whites getting in trouble than blacks, being if it was a more
But do you think that has to do with the fact of the statistic of 95% of black people committing crimes against black people and over I think it's 60 or 70%, if you gotta run with me on it, I don't have the statistic in front of me, of crime being committed by black people. Do you think that would play a role in that at all?
A very tiny amount.
A very tiny amount? Are you sure? Because if white people are committing 3 crimes a day, I'm gonna antiquate this to a very small proportion. If white people are committing 3 crimes a day and black people are committing 17 crimes a day, don't you think you would see more black people prosecuted?
You would think, but the thing is that, take for instance, you take a black community. Let's say you do exactly how Chicago is, split it down to 50%. If you, or even let's just say take a city and you populate it with 100% blacks. If you make the only opportunity for blacks to make money to commit crime, and that's the only technical way they can make money.
Who is making that opportunity though?
There's governments they'll put the drugs in the system for them to do it. To make it look like that, to give the statistics and put the statistics out there.
Really hard though. It's really hard to run.
It's hard to.
It's really hard to run on that because none of the statistics support that.
It's hard to believe, and that's the thing. Statistics can be manipulated. That's the problem.
Right, statistics can be manipulated, but I'm taking statistics from a liberal source.
And that's the thing, and I can completely understand and agree with that. It's just when things can be manipulated, the thing is that I'll agree with facts, but if the facts can be manipulated, I don't like that, and it doesn't sit well with me.
Right, but that's why we go with imperial statistics, because imperial statistics are very hard to manipulate. When you are literally quantifying an entire city of people or a race of people or anything like that, it's very hard to manipulate those statistics in the fact of,
and even then,
that you're in the fact that you're portraying. I don't necessarily believe that people are putting or that government is putting drugs in the system. Do I believe that there are more drugs in those areas? Yeah. But I think that's
Mention-
more to do. Wait, you're probably not going to agree with me on this. I think it's more to do with the people than the government.
which is a possibility. But even then, let's say even the government did.
Where I live now, good luck trying to find even a dub.
Oh yeah.
Okay? I'm not
Oh.
saying I live in a super affluent area, but I do live in a nice area now. And good luck even
Yeah.
finding a dub bag. Why do you think that is? It can't all be the fault of the police and the government. You can't.
Well,
no. It's the people.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah, part of it can do with the people.
Because
And
here's the thing: there's always the stipulation that when black people succeed, they're an Uncle fucking Tom. When black people make it, they're not black anymore. They're an Uncle Tom.
Well, see, the thing is, a lot of people don't even a lot of people are using Uncle Tom in that standpoint. But the real reason Uncle Tom was supposed to be used for the fact is that for the blacks kissing the white ass and not helping their own people. Then completely
right, but now it's
sides.
extended. But now it's extended to the point where if you become successful, if you own a business, if you do this or you do that, you're an Uncle Tom. That's not okay.
No, it's not.
You're not
okay.
encouraging success. You're not encouraging betterment of your race. You are literally encouraging to be a thug.
The ones that use Uncle Tom in that standpoint are the ones that are ignorant.
But that's the majority.
The reason why are the reason why that shit happens when people are ignorant. When people are ignorant to the real meaning behind words and ignorant to certain aspects, whether it be from race or statistics, they're gonna act like that because they're being led to believe that they're right. It's like being taught your whole life orange is red, and it's not. Orange is orange.
Right.
And that's the problem nowadays. We get indoctrinated. School isn't learning; it's indoctrination, and we're being indoctrinated.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. School has not been changed since the fucking what is it, the 50s or the 60s. The method of school is still
the school
basically it's basically an assembly line.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the map that we have in school now isn't even the actual real map of the world. It's actually edited. And that video of Jane Elliott that I sent you, I don't know if you saw it because I think it was that video where she talked about the map.
Where'd you send it to me on?
It was on Facebook.
May not have seen it yet. Might have to watch that.
Yeah, it's a little bit in the back.
Resend it to me.
Okay,
Give me a refresher.
All right, yeah, I'll do that here later. But she talked about how the maps in the school now are actually edited, and they purposely did this with the map. The USA is actually showed to be not the including Canada and Mexico part. The basic USA part was made bigger than the rest of the other countries on the entire planet map.
I don't agree with that. That's wrong. So I really want to. I agree with this topic we're on, and I think we found some common ground. Maybe we could go more in depth and we could find more, but I think I want to move on to another point of the chat where Grim Reaper said, "I'm not going to try and start a fight or anything," which you're not going to do in this chat, man. As long as you're respectful, you are not going to start a fight. Don't feel that way. But I honestly think all racist people started to flare up at Trump becoming president. I disagree with that. I think more people. I think the silent majority became more vocal when Trump became president. I think conservatives as a whole felt more comfortable to speak out when Trump became president. Would you agree with that, Guzzo?
Yeah, and another thing about Trump that also I will defend on this point with him is that has anybody ever heard of deep fake?
What is it?
Deep fakes.
Deep fakes. Nope.
You can take, say you take a picture, and you'll probably know why I'm bringing this up when I talk about it. Say you take a picture. It's a still picture. There's AI that can make the person in that picture move and talk like it's an actual live recorded video. What's to say the ones that are believing Trump to be a racist? What's to say that somebody didn't use deepfake to make Trump appear racist?
Well, that's the thing.
In fact,
Trump's never said or done anything really racist. I mean,
see,
he has.
see,
Okay. He has spoken out of his ass and misrepresented some things. As far as like, we'll go
and
into
what if that?
immigration where he said, you know, and here's the thing, he was misrepresented on that. He said, I want to stop rapists, murderers, and whatever coming across the border. He was misrepresented by CNN saying all Mexicans are rapists and murderers. He never said that. You can go back to the original press conference
That was
and
edited.
see that. That was never said. That was
Of
never.
course, 'cause they edited it.
Yes. No. They didn't edit it. They just didn't actually show him saying it. They just portrayed it. And people believed it because it's CNN and they say they're objective news. When really, they are one of the most biased news sources on the fucking media.
Yeah.
I don't
like
give
the
a
media
fuck
anyway.
if you're liberal or not. You have to admit CNN is not objective.
I hate all the media platforms, to be honest. All media does is spread toxicity.
So no, I don't think it brought out more racists. I think it just made the silent majority more vocal. And I think that was a shock to the system because conservatives as a whole have always remained pretty silent through the years. We haven't vocalized ourselves like the hard left has, but we were kind of forced to, the way the hard left attacked Trump and attacked the conservative party so vehemently to a point where we had to speak up. We had to start kind of advocating our position. And that's my honest opinion on it. And Guzzo, if you have a difference of opinion, speak on it now. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next point.
No, for right now anyway, I can't think of anything that I would have anything to say against that.
Okay.
Right now.
637 says, as a white guy, I don't know how it feels, but I am sorry that happened to you. I'm assuming you were talking about when I got cornered in the 7-Eleven, and I appreciate that, brother. That's all Guzzo, so I'm going to skip that if you don't mind.
That's fine.
I have nothing against anyone, but... Alright, so this is Grim Reaper. I have nothing against anyone, but we literally be cool with everyone, but everything going on here in the U.S., I feel like it's just going to go downhill from this point on. Honestly, I see things getting worse before it gets better. And I agree with you there, Grim Reaper. I think things are going to get worse before they get better. I think that's the modus operandi of anything like this. I think it always gets worse before it gets better. But I think we're at a turning point where I think we need to really be careful that it doesn't get too bad. That we don't go too far off the reservation before it gets better. Do you kind of get where I'm going with that, Guzzo?
Yeah.
Please explain your perspective on that.
Well, this will have a word that ties into 3, and of course, again, I'm not going to go into episode 3. But what I was going to say is that this thing with the whole the topic in general we're talking about, with racism being one of the topics and everything, and war and everything, we need to get at hand, and we do. But we've got 2 wars already going on. We're about to go to one on China that may go on our home soil. We have another one going on with the elite, and we sit here, we can't even get along amongst ourselves. We can't get along with ourselves.
Here's the thing, guys, and this might be the first you're hearing about it because it's not in mainstream media. And that's pretty sad that some hodunk fucking stream on Twitch is the first you're going to hear about this if it's the fact.
Yeah.
But the United States is literally on the brink of war with China. So right now, where we stand, the United States doubled its troops in the South China Sea. Literally doubled it, almost overnight.
What's going on with China?
Ask me why. The reason why is because China is not only putting Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps, literally shaving their heads, forcing them on trains, putting them in concentration camps. There's that. And then China has also positioned massive amounts of troops right outside of Taiwan. And as most of you should know by now, Taiwan is an ally, as a direct ally of America.
And
We
yes,
are
there's
on the
that.
verge of going to a full blown out war with China. And if you don't realize, this could be another third world war. If this goes the wrong way, it could become a third world war. Because here's the thing. For the first time in a very long time, the UN actually agrees with Trump on this. The UN is actually backing Trump on this advance with China. So it's very scary right now that, and this is something we'll go more into tomorrow with the third topic of deep state, but it's very scary that China, who is communist, we're about to go to war with them. Meanwhile, Democrats, BLM, and Antifa are pushing hard Marxist, communist views.
Along,
very scary.
Also along with the third war front we're on, with over 100,000. It is now up to over 150,000 sealed indictments against the deep state right now. So we also have that.
Well, no. Hold on. You have to include those 150,000 indictments, also sealed indictments, also include international, also include things outside of the deep state. But do I think that the majority of them are the deep state? Yes.
So,
at least half.
So,
but go. I need you to hold it down. Take the conversation real quick. Hold down the chat. I'm gonna go get a refill. I'll be right back.
Okay. So while we're here, going amongst ourselves, and again, like I said, I know I'm kind of skipping around. Sorry, guys, I got ADHD. It kind of happens, but that while we're here amongst ourselves, fighting over the race thing, we fighting the elite on one front. We're about to probably go to war with China on another front, and then we're sitting here fighting amongst ourselves about a civil war in our own soil. So, does anybody really think we can afford to go against each other right now? Because if we go against each other right now, the United States is done.
I don't believe that. I don't. Because, and here, hold on. I know you're like shaking your head like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Hold on. I believe we actually have a chance against China because our allies are actually standing with us on this. This is like the first time we've had a conflict since Trump's been in office that our allies are actually standing with us. They're saying, we get it. China fucked up. They cost the world millions, billions of dollars.
And that's
with coronavirus, and now they're putting people in fucking concentration camps and putting them out to pasture, and then gonna attack Taiwan. They're on the verge of attacking Taiwan. I think we do have a chance of support with this one.
Well, that's the only reason why we got support anyway. Had it not been for the fact that Corona ended up ruining everybody else, because the simple fact be, the United States can't keep their nose out of anybody's business. They like a 12-year-old girl that can't keep her nose out of drama.
I mean, I agree with that, and I disagree with it at the same point. I think we have to occupy certain areas like the Middle East, because if we don't, by us occupying the Middle East, I'm using the Middle East as an example, okay? Yeah. By us occupying the Middle East, it keeps them on their toes. It keeps them from attacking us and having another 9/11, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so that's why we have to occupy them, and that's why we have to keep an eye on them. It's our own national security.
I wouldn't say that the occupying would be in their business. I mean, just the fact is that, let's say, for instance...
I thought that's what you meant. I'm sorry.
Let's say, for instance, even though they're our allies, I mean, shit, they're even if two countries that ain't our allies, for instance, because it's happened in the past before. Two countries that don't even have nothing to do with us go fighting each other, and the United States wants to be like, hey!
Stop it.
There's a war. They'll be like, hey, stop it, but they'll be like, hey, it's a war. You know how we can stop it? Let's join in and see if we can't just stop both sides.
But here, that brings us back to the notion that we're a superpower. It's kind of as a superpower, it's kind of your responsibility to try to keep track of the world and keep some kind of order to protect yourself. Is it not? Because what's to say we don't get involved in that war when it's being fought on their soil, and then it comes to our soil? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I would have to halfway agree with that.
Because I can take it back to World War II. We didn't get involved with that right away. And what happened? Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So.
But they on their part, World War II was it after the Vietnam War?
No, it was before.
It was before?
Way before, sir.
What war was Well, no, what war was before World War? There was World War One. Who was involved in World War One?
Same people, same, all the same faces, just different.
Okay,
different,
so the ones that,
different leaders, but same same players.
Right. So the ones that attacked us in World War II, like you were talking about.
Well, Japan, I don't think was involved as heavily in World War One as World War II.
Did we fight Japan in World War One?
I don't believe so.
And then they did attack us, right?
In World War II, absolutely,
Yeah.
they attacked us in fucking Pearl Harbor.
See, something right there don't make that, something don't add up even with that, because the simple fact being is that what country, for one, that gets help from us would attack the person that helped them, for one?
Wait, what?
Okay, so if Japan, we wasn't fighting Japan in World War One, for one, it don't make sense the fact that, oh, they helped us in World War One, so let's attack them in World War
I don't
II.
see that we helped them in World War One. I just don't think they were very involved. I think they were in their isolation phase.
Well, that's possible too. Well, I guess
I don't see that we helped them necessarily, but they did ally with Germany in the Axis of Evil, as you had have it, in World War II, which is why they attacked us in World War II.
Okay, I was gonna.
They attacked us purely because essentially Hitler and the Axis of Evil saw that as furthering the front, so they attacked us. And once they attacked us, we got involved. That was when we were. That was our go time where we were like, "Oh yeah, bitch, you wanna? All right, bet.
So
we're gonna drop a bomb so big, you're gonna be fucking feeling the effects for 100 fucking years. Bet, bitch." And we dropped Hiroshima.
So would they have had probable cause to attack us on Pearl Harbor or whatever?
No. They really had no reason to come after us the way they did, other than the fact that they were on the opposing side. We were not involved. We had nothing to do with it really at that point. It was really Europe and Britain and all them.
Yeah.
At that point.
I wanted to clarify that, because the way I was talking about the scenario was, let's say
you were thinking that we slighted them or that it didn't make sense that they would attack us because we helped them.
Well,
and
that's the thing.
World War One, they were. I don't believe China had any involvement in World War One. I believe China was still in their isolation period where they were not entertaining any other countries outside of their own.
Well, because the reason why I was using the two countries example, because I was saying it in the fact is that, let's say the two countries don't even know the United States exists, and they're having a war, so therefore it doesn't come to our soil and has no chance of coming to our soil. We still
That's not a possibility. You can't not know the United States exists. We're a superpower. Period.
Unless you're one of them damn. Granted, I know we wouldn't go to war with them because it's actually unethical in the acts of war.
You're talking about like a third world country. That's just bullying. That's like,
us
showing up with tanks and them showing up with spears and being like, "Yeah, bitch, we got you," and us being like,
I was just saying the only way to not know. I was just saying the only way to not know we exist would be like there's like the one tribe they came across, for example, on that island that pretty much said.
Well, yeah, but that's not somebody we would go to war with. That's not even worth our time.
Saying. But no, I was just saying in the fact, even if they said, okay, so then let's say they do know we exist, and that there's no way in hell that, and they've even said and told us that we're not going to fight the United States and we're not going to get them involved because we're scared of the motherfuckers.
That's happened plenty of times.
And let's say it never does come to our soil. We don't need to get involved, because if we have a guarantee that it's never going to come to our soil, it's going to have nothing to do with us.
Right, but then you have to look at international trade. So let's say it's affecting. What if it's affecting our ability to bring in resources for our country? Did we get
That
involved
makes
then?
sense. And that makes, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
To protect our
And also look-
our engagements. Should we not?
Yes, and also, what if it don't?
Well, then here's the thing. We have those type of agreements with almost the majority of the world. So it's hard to say that we don't have a place to get involved. Listen, there was a time, and you can remember this, Guzzo, when we first started talking, where I believe the same thing you are saying right now, where I don't think it's right that America get involved in every fucking conflict in the world. But it makes sense when you really look into it and you realize that America has its fingers in almost everything when it comes to trade-wise in every country. And for somebody to attack another country that we have an invested interest in, we have to protect that, do we not?
Yeah.
Look, you vape, don't you? You vape from time to time?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No. The only thing I do is, I probably can't say that on Twitch, but anyways.
You can, because it's legal in some areas. It's legal in some states.
Well, then yeah, the only thing I do is smoke weed.
Okay, fair enough. Let's say all your weed came from one sector of the country. Look, just run with me on this. I know it sounds outlandish. Let's just say it all. Let's just say it all comes from Israel, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Israel is being attacked.
Yeah.
Now you can't get your weed. Now no weed can come into the country because they're being attacked. Should we not get involved? Should we not protect our investment?
Yeah, I guess it's because I just don't like the whole concept of war. The reason why I don't think it should be okay. But yeah, it makes sense.
It does. It does. Move forward a little bit, Guzzo, because you are cutting out of the green screen. There you go, brother. Perfect.
All right.
But no, I think it does stand for an argument that essentially we should get involved in certain situations just to protect our investment if we have to. If
That's
only
good.
that.
637 brought up a good point that we don't want that.
Hold on. I'm trying to catch up here. We're gonna do a speed round here where we're gonna jump through topics really quick. All right. 637 says the Uncle Tom term for people who puts other blacks down, for people who have success as a black person. I agree with that. That's absolutely true. But it's been perverse. I think it's been perversed into anybody that succeeds in the black community. I'm not saying in an absolute fashion, but I think in a majority fashion, they are ridiculed for doing so. A black person goes to college and they come from like say a Trenton or a Chicago, even inner city Chicago. I think they are ridiculed for doing so. Would you agree, Guzzo?
What was that? Sorry, repeat that. I was actually reading that.
He basically defined what an Uncle Tom is, and he spoke in almost absolute, basically saying that it's people who put down blacks for people who have success as a black person, and I think that is correct in the fact of that black people as a culture have been known to put down other black people when they come from inner city environments such as Trenton or inner city Chicago, poor areas of Chicago, for if they go to college they're an Uncle Tom, or if they side against the liberal left they are an Uncle Tom, or if they, you understand where I'm going with this. Obama was called an Uncle Tom.
Some areas you will use it to that standpoint. Now, from a big majority of the black people that I have talked to with this term, my wife included, that a lot of them use it in a way of that the black person doesn't necessarily be mad at them for a success. They will use it as somebody that they see. Okay, say for example, say you have a white CEO and you have two black workers, okay, and you have one black worker.
Okay, so you're saying like two black workers are sucking the CEO's dick, basically.
Well, no, not that. So you have one's working working, busting their ass, doing everything, even going above and beyond, right? Let's say they don't see a promotion for like 5 years. You have the other one that's lazy, but he's kissing ass and only doing shit when the CEO is around and everything, and he's just acting mad kiss ass to the boss.
But that
right?
would work for a white person even.
And throwing. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting to that. But when the CEO is around, they just continue to throw the other one under the bus to the benefit of, I want to be a white person, even though I'm black. I want to be white.
I see. That's where I disagree. I don't think it's a white and black issue. I think it's just a shithead in an office situation issue. I think it's just somebody being a fucking asshole that wants to further themselves by any means necessary. And if they have to fuck you over to do it, they'll do it.
Well, the blacks here, when they say Uncle Tom in Chicago, the only ones they be calling Uncle Toms is the ones that will literally walk around, be black themselves, but preach white power.
I don't agree with that. You know why? Because blacks in Chicago themselves, literally spoke out against Terry Crews for speaking up on CNN. Called him an Uncle Tom.
What did he say?
He came out and said that basically the same argument that I've made, which Black Lives Matter. Why aren't we in outrage when a black child is killed because they were in the wrong place, wrong time, because a black man was shooting a gun and hit her?
And it also depends on how it works. See, a lot of people...
So which Black Lives... that begs the question, which Black Lives Matter? Because when we're talking about black on black crime, none of that gets reported. When we're talking about black on white or white on black crime, that gets reported. When we're talking about white on white crime, that never gets reported. When we're talking about black on white crime, that never gets reported. No, it's only white on black. So which Black Lives Matter? And that's the point that Terry Crews made, and he was called an Uncle Tom for it.
Thing is that also people got to watch how they word shit, because if you don't word shit properly, also...
I will send you the video of him on CNN. He definitely thought his words out very carefully. And Don Lemon ridiculously bashed him for it. Which is why... Fuck you, Don Lemon. Right there. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Because you know what? That same motherfucker will say he's objective, and then in the same breath say, I'm telling my truth as a black man in America. Well, then you're no longer objective. You can tell your truth, and I'll respect it. But don't call yourself a fucking objective, because the minute you start saying you're telling your truth, it's no longer objective. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna run through the chat real quick. All right, so 637 says, U.S. on your map is bigger than Africa, when Africa is 9 times the size of the USA. Agreed. I don't think there's any disagreement there. Yeah, I did. You can change a person's face, make it look like someone else's. He called Mexicans the R word. I don't believe he called Mexicans the R word. I would have to see that tweet, 637. You're more than welcome to send it to me. What is going on with China? We talked about that. When it comes to TikTok is at risk of being banned right now because it's owned by China. It's a company in China that owns it and runs it. TikTok is at danger of being banned because by law in China, they have to report all info they gain from the app to Beijing, which is their communist capital.
Yep. Information phishing.
So the U.S. is talking about banning them to basically protect us. That's essentially that. There's no real debate for that. Am I right, Jozo?
Do what now?
I said there's no real debate for that. Am I right?
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
Okay. TikTok, bro. 2020 garbage. 2020 is garbage. Fuck this year. Cause World War III. Get ready for draft or for a war. I mean, if there's a draft, I know I'm safe. I'm almost 30. They ain't coming after me. They ain't coming for my ass, and if they do, I have an only child son, so they definitely ain't coming.
There's one word I can tell them
I'm a
that
single
get them
father,
to turn
so.
away from me. Because I got turned away for it when I went to go for it. When I went to go for the military, all I gotta say is suicidal. They ain't gonna do it.
Under draft circumstances, they will. They won't give a fuck.
Because I more than likely
You better not, motherfucker. I'll resurrect you and kick your ass. All right. Anyway, no, and further into that point, I couldn't serve anyway. They wouldn't draft me purely because of the injury I've had with my knee. I actually severed my MCL and dislocated my knee.
And I can't shoot.
So I was actually rejected by every branch of the military.
Well,
I tried to apply to be a Marine, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and National Guard. I got rejected by all 5 branches, and was all because of my knee surgery. So I highly doubt they would draft me. Do I think it's possible under very extreme circumstances? Probably.
Yeah, they try to avoid the draft.
They do. I give them that.
About one of the only things this damn country does,
627
right?
says, yeah, because we allies, we go into war with you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if France allied with us on this, because in all the UN discussions I've seen, France has actually sided with us on almost all of them when it comes to this topic. France has disagreed with us on a lot of points, but France does side with us on a lot of things when it comes to this. Yes, they were involved in... Oh, they were. Yeah, they were our ally. Okay, so Japan was involved in World War I, but they were our allies. Okay, so that's news to me.
See, that's not... Yeah, they dumb for attacking us. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. We're your allies, but we're gonna attack you later.
Okay, so 637 actually posed a very good question early on. I'm sorry that it's taken us so long to catch up, guys. We're trying. This is going to be a rather long discussion anyway, so I hope you guys can understand. Imagine you go to war with a Russian or with a Russia or a China. Why do you do that if you know nuclear war is a possibility?
We don't.
We don't by choice. By choice, we don't go to war with those people. We try to negotiate. We try to diplomat things, but the problem is that in essence, sometimes war is inevitable. Sometimes, no matter what you say, no matter what you negotiate, the other side is just of the position. Fuck you. We want to fuck you up.
And
you know what I mean? And at that point, you have to fight.
Yeah, and on the nuclear part is that the United States and Russia have stated they want to avoid that.
Yes.
China, we don't know.
China has not. China has not.
Which is not good. Which is not good, because the thing is, this is my theory, and
But here's the thing, Gozo. We do have implementations in place. I'm not saying they are all encompassing, but we do have implementations in place to defend against a nuclear war where we can knock a nuke out of the sky before it ever gets close to us.
The only thing about that is, which I'll get into the second part of what I was going to say later, but the first part I was going to say is that the thing about nuclear war is that if you launch one, it's done because it causes a chain reaction. Because if you launch one, it's going to do damage to surrounding countries.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Here's the thing. The implementations that we have set up over the past decade would possibly mitigate that, I think. Because if we can knock it out of the sky before it becomes a threat for Russia or us, which are the main, China, Russia, and United States are the main ones that have viable nukes that can be really used in a combat situation.
What if multiples launched at once? Because they have said, even if, let's say they launched 10 at once, we don't even have the system to take down 10 at once.
Do you think that we haven't spoken to Russia, to Putin, and saying, hey, look, if this shit happens, you got our back at least to stop the nuclear warfare? You think Russia ain't going to stop that with us? You think Russia ain't going to be like, yeah, we got you on that. We ain't going to fight with you, but we might help you knock out the nukes.
Okay, and another thing is that, okay, let's say they launch 20, Russia takes out 5, the United States is out to take out 5. What about the other 10? And then
you're assuming that China has that many nukes.
I know. Well, let's look at the fact. Okay, say for instance, they talked about Russia. They said, okay, they said if Russia and the United States get into it, it's the end of the world because of the nukes that we both got.
I mean, they've said that, and I'm inclined to agree with it to a point. I do think that with the current status of things, I think we have a chance against Russia or against China. Actually, I think we have a chance against Russia and China. Maybe not at the same time. If they allied against us, I mean, I think we're kind of fucked.
But everybody also needs to understand is that the United States isn't invincible.
No, we're not.
And that's the problem with the United States that I don't like. They want to
keep going, Guzzo. My son just woke up. I apologize.
All right, that's fine.
Keep going though.
But the thing is that even if China doesn't have that, and the thing is that there's no guarantee, and our defense systems against nukes aren't even perfect. Our defense systems aren't even perfect. They've tested it and successfully knocked missiles down, but there's also been times our systems have missed and they're not perfect. So while we may take down, let's say they launch 5 and Russia even helps us, even Russia's defense.
Keep going. I got you on that. Keep going.
And also, I mean, what's stopping? Let's say, for instance, there's a lot of countries in our world that hate the United States, that hate us a lot. Let's say they see an opportunity to be like, hey, there's a superpower attacking the United States. Let's seize the moment. And 20 of us countries or so on go against the United States all at once.
Well, that's where the UN comes in.
I don't trust the UN. I do not trust. I do not trust.
Here's the thing. I wanna rewind a little bit to your point where you said our defense systems aren't perfect, and they're not. They're not. They absolutely aren't. But do you really think that we can't knock a couple out of the sky and then send our own over at the same? Wait.
I'm not gonna doubt that.
No.
But
we knock a few out of the sky and then send our own over.
I'm gonna doubt
because
that.
Here's the thing.
But still.
Here's the thing. We didn't nuke the Middle East. We didn't nuke that part of the country because it would eventually bleed over into China, and we didn't want to start that
problem. And that's the problem.
Right. But if we're already at war with China, what's stopping us?
But I mean, the thing is what I mean by the chain reaction. Okay, let's say we nuke China. Let's say we send in 2 or 3. If it bleeds over into another country's ally, that country can get pissed and they can launch theirs. And it can cause a chain reaction.
No other nuke in that region. No other country in that region has viable nukes. No other country in that region is a proven fact. No other country. North Korea doesn't even technically have viable nukes. They tried to send nukes out. They tested them, and they landed in the fucking ocean.
Nukes shouldn't even be a thing. It is my thing.
Well, now you're arguing a different topic.
The thing is that I'm not I won't put any country under the bus because we do this same thing. Certain countries only know so much about us with our technological advances. We can technically be 50 years ahead in technology than what other countries know about. Vice versa. Because other countries, I guarantee it, do the same thing we do. Yeah, we've got this kind of technology, but in reality, we're 100
If that
years
was
past.
true, though, here's the thing. Other countries are constantly trying to hack our systems to try to copy what we're doing because we are at the cutting edge.
I agree to that extent because I mean, there's one Tokyo, Japan. There's areas over there that have things we don't even have.
China's built their country on copying.
That's China. But,
I'm just saying.
But take Japan for instance. They have stuff over there we don't even have.
Yes and no. They don't have nearly the defense systems we have. They don't have
defense systems.
the offensive systems we have.
But for
they don't have
instance,
anything like that. They have. They do have over us like a private sector that's more advanced than us. Yes.
For capabilities with as far as AI development and robotics development and how fast
That's
they
what
can
you know, though. The U.S. I think the U.S. is much further on AI and robotics technology than what they
well, the thing is
I mean, look, we're trying. They're trying to commit they're trying to create an Iron Man suit, dude. Like
that's not okay. Also,
that's America doing that. Like that's insane. That's awesome, in my opinion. Like fuck it, send Iron Man into the field.
But then we're gonna get to the point to where, well, now the United States is probably gonna become a dictator because now they're gonna be so powerful that there ain't gonna be no country that can go against them, which is not good. There has to be a balance. I'm a firm believer that there should be no country, no race, no country, or anybody stronger than anybody. Everything needs to be balanced.
Not to change the subject, but I want to move on in the chat.
Yeah, because it's good.
White on black crime is more prevalent than you think. I disagree with that because I look at the imperial statistics, and white on black crime is very, very specifically defined as black on black crime is, as all crime is. It's very specifically defined, and as it stands, 60, I think, % of the crime in America is committed by blacks. And 95% of the crime against black people are committed by other black people.
I'm actually curious, what's the unemployment rate as far as races?
Okay, hold on.
Which one has the most?
I'll get that. Hold on. I'll get that for you. Keep talking.
But no, I want to know how much. I'm curious because. Nah, I need the answer before I can continue on that one.
No, go ahead. Tell your.
Because a lot of times crime comes down to opportunity.
Crime might come down to opportunity, but unemployment rate as a whole has reached 14.57% due to the coronavirus.
What race has the most majority over that?
I'm looking for that. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep talking. Keep it going.
Because yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely 67. I mean, because if you give somebody the opportunity to make money by committing a crime, and it's an opportunity to make more money than they could have made in a month.
Okay, I got you.
Doing a job.
So there is a 5% gap between white and black, favoring black people as far as unemployment rate. Meaning, black people are 5% higher in the unemployment rate. But that is also new because that is during the coronavirus lockdown
I
time.
know.
It
I
wasn't
know.
that big of a gap before the coronavirus. Just
Which
saying.
I find ironic that crime has went up since there's been more unemployment.
Well, of course it has. Look at the fucking riots.
And I don't even mean just that. Like as far as like thefts and even opportunities with people.
Yeah, and if you look at the jobs lost in February to April versus May to June when the riots were at their worst and the lockdowns were at their worst, it's a very big discrepancy. Like a 10,000 discrepancy. It's a huge discrepancy.
And I've even had it to where, again, had I been able to record it, because again, I did not have a phone on me because I don't take my phone everywhere. I've had instances to where I've put an application in one place, and this is as far as why the unemployment rate for a specific race can be higher and why the opportunity of crime for our race is going to be higher.
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't higher before the coronavirus.
No, I know.
I'm just saying the gap has been largened because of the coronavirus.
The reason why those ones are going to create more crime
Keep
for the
talking,
simple
guys.
fact
I'm gonna
being
get a refill.
is that there was a time, and I tested this. I tested it, and I went and I applied for multiple jobs. On one half of the jobs I applied for, I put that I was fully Caucasian. On the other apps, I put that I was mixed, and I put yes that I was 50-50, 50% white, 50% black. I got more callbacks on the applications where I put Caucasian than I did where I put I was mixed. And the funny thing is that the applications I put that I was mixed was the same places that I put that I was fully Caucasian, which is not okay.
Right, and I can't argue that fact, but the statistics prove that actually more black people are favored in interviews than white because of affirmative action. And see that, and here that involves that provides a problem in and of itself, because now, and I've seen people, I've talked to people, and I've seen interviews of people that are black, where they say they wonder if they're even accepted into the college they're in because of their merit or because they're black, and that's horrible. That is a horrible way to think of yourself. That did I make it into this to Princeton or Harvard or Stockton because I was white or because I was black, or did I make it because of my merits? It's really that's a terrible way to think, but it's the majority that thinks that way because it's true. It's hard to decipher it. I think that affirmative action and all the government assistance programs for black people, essentially, I think they hinder black people as a whole. I think they ruin their possibility for advancement.
It's just I can't. There's been too much that I can't believe that there's too many people trying to be like, you know, that they want to preach that blacks have never been, you know, wrongly done, and too many people are trying to be like, you know, blacks don't deserve this and blacks don't deserve that. I'm sorry, but certain things that have been done to blacks has been done to blacks, and I
don't disagree with that, but I don't think that blacks should get a.
Do I think they should get absolute power? No, but do I think they should?
Do I think they should get extras either? Do you think they should get extras?
No, I think they should get the equivalent of what everybody else gets.
Right, base it off merit, not race.
And a lot of the times that don't happen. And I have to stand firm on that just because of personal experience.
637 says asked a question based off of this. but IRL, you will get more callbacks more often if you have a white name. Well, then what about me? Because I have an Italian name, and I'm not going to state it on stream. It's kind of my thing. I don't like putting my real name out there. Havoc is my name. It's something that people call me in real life. Guzzo can actually attribute to that because he has heard people in real life while we were on the phone call me Havoc.
I just call you that because I'm used to calling you that myself.
It's just been my nickname since I was a kid, long before I was a streamer or a gamer.
But
that being said, I have an Italian name. No, Italy isn't a white country. You're wrong. It's a Latin country.
You want to know what's funny though?
It's actually the original Hispanic country. It's what almost all. Exactly. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you, 637. You actually were willing to correct yourself. I appreciate that. No, it is a Latin. It's not a white country. It is a Latin country. So by that notion, I would be discriminated against by my name, but I've not been. Almost every job I've sought out, I can honestly say I've gotten it based on my merits, based on my experience, based on the what I have to give to that company. See? And here's the thing, if I applied for a position that I didn't have the required experience in, I've done the extra step of removing the risk. And the way you do that is say, look, hire me for this position. Put me on a contract basis. Meaning, if I don't complete the job you want me to complete in the time you want me to complete it, don't pay me. But if I do, pay me and give me a position. Give me an hourly position.
Yeah.
You remove the risk for the company. You put all the risk on yourself, and you basically tell them, look, I'm so confident in my ability to please you, to satisfy your requirements, and then some, that I'll complete the task you give me before it's due, so I get paid, and furthermore, I want a position because of my performance. When you put it to a company like that, especially an office situation, you remove the risk for them, and they get a free shot at somebody that could be really great for their company. Or somebody that's horrible, and they don't lose anything by that.
But I just...
see, that one uncle, that's a very ignorant statement. Italy is not white. I'm sorry, it is not.
But yeah, I just... That topic where the whole thing with racist jobs and certain things, it's never... Nobody is ever... Not everybody is
Matter
ever...
Matter of fact, wait. Just to further that point, Italy isn't white. You want to know why? Because half of Italy is Sicily. And Sicily is half black. Tell me I'm wrong, Guzzo.
Well, here's what I can say to both points. Latins and Italians are descended from black people.
How is Sicily white when they were invaded way back by Egypt and were raped and pillaged, which is why they have a darker skin complexion than the rest of Italy?
There's a funny video.
You tell me.
There's a funny video actually to even confirm that people should go watch, and it's a funny but actually historically accurate video. It's called The History of the Entire World, I guess, and it's on YouTube. Dude goes into mad detail, but he does it in like 30 minutes and literally starts from the beginning of the universe all the way through history and all the wars and stuff within a 30-minute video and talks about all of that.
I'm assuming he talks about Italy and Egypt.
Because he goes all the way even back before Mesopotamia.
Oh, so yeah, then he goes way in on Egypt and Italy,
yeah,
where they invaded
Sicily,
and that's why Sicily has
Chandragupta he goes through everything.
Look, I'm I'm very little Sicilian. I'm much more Northern Italian, which is why I have a paler complexion than a Sicilian. But the fact of the matter is, Italians are a Latin culture. Go look at Italian language. It's a Latin language.
I have a buddy of mine. His name's Jonathan Machado. His last name is actually part of a royal Latin, Puerto Rican and Latin family bloodline and whatever. He can confirm a lot of that.
Gadivini?
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. So he can confirm a lot of that stuff.
You can consider them white, but that's a false statement, based on history, based on facts.
Which, let's be honest, when has humans ever been capable of cataloging history correctly?
I mean, you can say all day that they're a white culture, but they're really not. I mean, look at their language alone. Their language alone classifies them as a Latin culture.
I mean, in all honesty, if you really think about it, that would be like saying because Eminem is the greatest white rapper in the world, that hip hop and rap is a white culture, when it's actually not.
No.
But
I think that's a very wrong way to look at Italy. I mean, that's your prerogative, and I respect it, but
of course, yeah. I mean, like anybody say, to each their own. I mean,
yeah. I'm not looking to disrespect anybody. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah. And that's one point that I would have to disagree on too, because the one person that's really good when it starts coming into the history about, of course, the blacks, that would be my wife.
I mean, look, salute me familia. Does that sound like a white language? No, that sounds like a
no.
Salute me familia.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not.
That's straight Italian, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing though. The one thing that not everybody.
Real quick, Guzzo, before we go any further, I wanna do a quick call to action. Guys, if you haven't already, please smack that follow button. Hit the ding my dong. Hit the notification bell, and do it for Guzzo as well. I'm gonna give him a shout out here in the chat in a second. And,
yeah, matter of fact,
and please show us some support. We're both coming over from Mixer. Myself, I had just hit 1,000 followers, and then Mixer shut down the next day, literally. Guzzo literally texted me the next day and was like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
This just happened to you, because he knew how hard I worked to get to 1,000 followers.
Yeah, thankfully I was one of the lucky ones that maybe had barely 10, so it didn't really...
And he literally hit me up. Props to him. He literally hit me up the very next day before I even knew what happened. He straight up hit me up and was like, yo, I am so fucking sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I am so fucking sorry. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I looked into it and I realized what the fuck just happened, where they announced they were shutting down in 30 days. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I literally just hit 1,000. And you fucking cancel me, basically. You canceled all of us. You fucking cunts. But it is what it is. We're over here on Twitch now. We have made the switch. Yeah. So please show that support. Become part of the family. Jump in on the Wise Guy Mob. Jump in on my Discord. I'm putting that in the chat now.
Also,
and, also check out Guzzo here.
And if I can, let people know too, that tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, for anybody that may hop over and follow me as well, I'm going to be live streaming at noon either tomorrow or the day after. So if anybody wants to check that out, you guys can check that out as well.
I'll do my best to jump in, brother, but you know I'll be probably preparing for work, sleeping.
Yep.
But I'll jump in when I can.
All right, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That being said, guys, you know, I want to get back to the discussion. You guys know each other IRL? Technically, no, we don't. I've never met the man in person. but I know him very well personally through
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
calls and video chats like this.
Yeah.
And
Yup.
I know his family very well as far as his girlfriend. We have not gotten the chance to meet IRL. He is planning on coming out here with his girlfriend to stay for a weekend or so.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of trips of meeting people.
He wants to come out here to Jersey. And
what is going on, Wise Guy Mob? And as you can see, the video did have an abrupt ending, but unfortunately the recording did cut off as we were in the process of shooting it. But honestly, it didn't really miss much there. It was mostly just me getting drunker and drunker, Guzzo and I just talking shit about, I think it was video games at that point. We kind of got off the main topic anyway, and it became more of an open Q&A for you guys. That being said, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Keep an eye out for the next one. However, there are some special videos that I'm putting out about what's been going on, why these videos have been delayed, and I apologize. But let's just say I'm exposing the truth on a lot of things on a certain streamer named Cemetery Gates 92 on Twitch, and she is a very sick individual. That being said, guys, stay tuned for the next one. Thank you for all the support, and check the links below for how to follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you watch me only on YouTube, please also, well, whether you watch me only on YouTube or you watch me on all platforms, hit the subscribe button, ding my dong, and again, thank you guys for everything.